Hi everyone, welcome to another dreams analysis reading. It actually could be a scenario this time. I'm drawn to do sort of a nightmare. So either you've been jolting awake, sleeping uncomfortably, like tossing and turning if you're someone who doesn't connect with dreams, or you are having what you're considering a nightmare, or you might be in what you're considering a nightmare scenario. So I'm going to do a pick a deck, timestamped below. You can pause the video here if you need some time to kind of tune in and see which deck you're drawn to. Otherwise, I am an organic reader, so I'm just going to remove and you're going to kind of see everything on camera. That's why I timestamp below. I'm just going to put this deck aside. Okay, so those of you drawn to deck one, we are looking at a nightmare in terms of dreams, or maybe a week of nightmares or disturbed sleep, or a scenario that you're considering, sort of a nightmare scenario that you're living. That could be stuck in a cycle, right? You feel like you're unable to get out. So what we're going to do is start with the charms. That will help kind of lay the work, see what we're doing. And then the tarot cards will help me connect into your dreamscapes, see what's kind of going on with relation to your nightmares, either in your dreams, or it'll connect me with your angels and your soul energies for sort of a real life scenario. We'll kind of see how this plays out here. Okay, so for those of you not having seen the process, I just kind of hover over my charts that are developed in guidance with the angel energies and soul energies, my spirit guides, especially when it comes to dreams. It's similar to kind of dipping into the Akashic records, tapping into that energy here. So looks like there might be either finances on your mind or some kind of ending. We're kind of hovering here over endings to bad habits, to a bad cycle. This is a nightmare scenario, a nightmare reading. Oop, I did move, I apologize. I started to go around the chart when that one was falling. So I'll see if there's, oh, okay. So we're up here with the angels and your spirit guides, giving you some help. So we'll get some messaging there. Looks like we have a bit of a milestone. Still more movement. Quite a bit that your angels here want to talk to you about. Not surprising with a nightmare reading, right? Angels are here to get you out of the dark, so to speak. Okay, we got ample room, I think, to go around with the cards. So I'm gonna just touch the charms. This helps me tune in, kind of get an initial start to the reading. There is some celebration here to ending your bad habits. So maybe that's why this feels like a nightmare. You're kind of in the last push, right? Or maybe you're entering something fearful. I just kind of touched the leading with your heart, following a passion. That can be scary, but we have good luck here. And milestone, major milestone with some good luck, some good favor. I'm gonna turn her upright, like facing upright, but upside down. I know she's upright, but I'm doing that to remind me that she was pointing over here at what you should focus on. We have wealth story, so finances, money on the mind here. We do have tightness on the money. Some history here, some history having some impact on you. Could just be debt, credit, your credit score, right? If it's connected to money matters on the mind. And we got some balance here. Okay. So starting to get some story here of what's kind of going on. But there's a lot of positivity, right? I'm seeing a celebration here of establishing a strong foundation. You are ending a bad habit or cycle. Like I said, you might be in that final 10 or 20% push, right? That's when it's the hardest, the shakiest to keep going. And then you have, miracles up here, good luck, you know, a milestone. That's all positive. Heart, a passion. So there's not too many cautionary charms here, actually. It's a lot of positivity. So it's kind of contradicting your feeling of having nightmares this week, or tossing and turning, suddenly waking up, sweating, right? Maybe you're waking up and you're kind of wet and you're not sure why you were sweating. Or like I said, this scenario, maybe the wealth story here is sort of the nightmare scenario that you feel you're living in the waking life, right? During your awake hours period. So I'm just going where they guide me. I'm sure it feels like no rhyme or reason. For whatever reason, cards just stick out to me, so that sometimes I just kind of dig. Like this one, for some reason, just kind of poking out there. I feel like I'm pausing, but I'm kind of pushing because I feel like I might not have enough cards in terms of understanding your dreams, like the actual nightmare here. I'll see if they'll give me a bit more. Maybe they can give me like a main thematic or something to just help me connect in here with the dreams. And then we'll wrap up the process and we'll get into the reading. So those of you that enjoy watching the process, thanks for being here and listening to my babbling that I do. Okay, so we got 333. Maybe I pushed that on purpose, but you know, it's also nice to have an angel number, right? An angelic number. I'm gonna start up here where I kind of pushed the angels, your soul's energy, to give me a chance to step into your dreams here, step into your headspace, connect with the thoughts that your angels are going to share with me. We do have an angel here right away, so I know that just you coming to this reading is permission to connect in and kind of step in here. So we do have a relationship. I don't feel lovers, I just feel relationship. Maybe it's because I've already started with money here. But there's an energetic, an energy, right? So, at a soul level, connection, you know, so your relationship with money is a certain energy that you pull. And maybe that's why the angel's here because I feel their frequency. So there's a connection here that's off. You know, you gotta tune up your own frequency. There was 2 readings I did this week about reconnecting in with one's belief system. You know, starting to integrate vision boards, positive thinking, affirmations. You know, lucky numbers like 333, right? The angelic numbers. And there's like the key here. We got the X marks the spot, X marks the spot. I wonder if you're encountering in your nightmares like an emperor-like character, you know, maybe you know, heading into nightmare space. Maybe you're running into like a Darth Vader type character, right? A darker Jedi here. Just look at the robes here and the authority. So some kind of authoritative character that you feel is kind of holding the keys here, either maybe from you. Maybe that's why it feels like a nightmare situation. Oop. Wow, okay, so it wanted to connect in with this character here. King of Swords. You know, this is like a battle of head and heart, right? Leading with faith and belief. And then you have logic and war, right? So they're pulling me into this battle between head and heart. You might just be experiencing a battle in your nightmare situation here, right? You might be pulled away from a lover. You know, maybe you're starting off with a very happy dream. You're in a happy scenario, and then you're pulled into this nightmare scenario, right? if I go back to my sci-fi analogy, you're on your planet. Darth Vader shows up above, right, in his globe ship, and then you're either at war or you're battling, you're captured. Maybe you're awake before you even know. Maybe you wake up before the war even starts. It's that scary. Because there is this lock away. There's this either a door you can't get through, a wall you can't climb. There's a barrier here in your dream that you're not able to get past. And I think this is the scary part. It's almost like you see this person, and then like that's when you kind of wake up here. In terms of a real life scenario here, there might be tension in an existing relationship as it relates to the stress that you're feeling. I feel like you're hiding maybe. She kind of has the ribbons here behind her. I almost feel like each of them has one hand behind the back. Like they're holding each other's hands, but there's one hand behind the back. They're kind of just hiding something here. If this is your relationship with finances now at this time, you're hiding the fact that you're just stressed out. It could just be as simple as that. Stress does lead to tossing and turning and unable to sleep well, disturbed sleep, and it also does lead to us kind of translating messages and dreams into more of a nightmare scenario. There is a touch of opulence here they're drawing me to. The gold chains around their necks. He's got his staff, he has his sword, he's got the keys, he has the crown. So there's this mirroring of each other. But it's not obvious, right? Not until we dig into the cards and kind of sit with them do we see the similarities here, the mirror effect. In your waking life, you might be catching yourself just kind of staring in the mirror, and that's where you're asking yourself the questions related to this. This relationship I'm seeing here with the finances, or the relationship that you're struggling with in the waking life, the nightmare waking life scenario. In the dream setting, this mirroring effect, you might be seeing people from your waking life in your dream, and maybe that's what is really catching you up. Maybe that's why you're at today's reading. You're wondering why you're having nightmares featuring people that you know, people that you love. They're kind of taking on these roles for you in your dream to not represent themselves, but to kind of connect with you, right? It's all about this connection, bringing the other hand around, so it's both hands. You're holding this way, not just the one hand. Okay. So we'll just put that aside, see how that's gonna connect in here with the reading now. Not sure how that related to you. Okay, I'm gonna stand down here. The focus is on balance, and this is your own sense of balance. The pendulum, right? You push it to start ticking at your speed. It also reminds me of the pendulum of a clock, so time passing. So what you should focus on this time is kind of spending your time finding your balance here, finding your rhythm. Also, it could be the pace keeper, right? Kind of finding your own way. I don't know if you've been trying to force yourself to do something a certain way, or you think you're supposed to do something a certain way, or you've been busy following other people's advice instead of just kind of taking notes, sitting with it, and trying it your own way. Because Your wealth story is taking off quickly here. The witch also means to get grounded, to kind of get rooted. If it wasn't a dream scenario, I would say, you know, put your feet, bare feet in like the sunlight coming through your window, like on the floor, just kind of step into it, or let yourself step out onto your deck, you know, feel the cement, wood, soil, lawn. But they want you to get grounded and focused, which means maybe because it is a witch, you've been scared, you know, finances, financial information just scares you because of history. You know, we have this past weighing on you, this tightness. You know, maybe you're someone that's struggled with finances, which is 90% of the population today. You know. But if you kind of dig in and focus in here on your finances, it could just be going through all your subscriptions, right? Maybe that's why you're seeing all these familiar people. Maybe you're seeing familiar characters from different shows. Maybe that's why I was drawn to say Star Wars off the top. You know, kind of just observe, but there's this encouragement to do it your own way. You know, if I take another analogy, this is, you know, Harry Potter. What did he do? He understood the rules of, what's it called? Was it Quidditch? But once he knew the rules, he played the game his own way, right? And what did he do? He succeeded. He won. You know, he just focused on getting the little Quidditch, the little flying ball, and then the hoop, right? Two steps. Maybe you're overwhelming yourself. Maybe there's this tightness here, right? This choking. Maybe that's why I was encouraging you to look through your subscriptions. You know, can you trim the fat here if you feel like your bank account is being choked right now? You know, too many commitments. You know, it's okay to update your RSVP, right? To certain things. We don't have to say yes to everything. But on the past impacting you, we have endless possibilities, you know, weaving here. So again, this is just looking back at experiences, right? Coming back, bouncing off that experience. You know, maybe part of your nightmare, maybe it's recurring nightmares, is because you're visiting each of these points. You know, maybe you're astral traveling and you're revisiting each of these experiences in your dream, but you're supposed to be taking away the lesson, the learning that you had from that experience, not focusing on reliving that experience, right? It was shocking, traumatic, uncomfortable, whatever it was. Focus on, you know, become more of a tomb raider, you know. Embrace the stress as adrenaline and run away with the knowledge you just grabbed, and don't focus so much on the pathway, the journey that took you there, because you've already lived that. So stop reliving it here in your dreams. So I did start off by saying your angels here, your little cheerleader, they're celebrating you. So they're ouch. They're letting you know. I'm just trying to see why I suddenly hit my knee here. They're celebrating you here on acknowledging that you can, or you just have broke a bad habit. I think you can. I think, again, there's this encouragement to do it your way, to lay your own foundation here. You know, the decisions you're about to make is going to give you some solid footing that you can trampoline and jump off of here. That's a nice card to get, right? We've got movement, action, going from a sitting position to engaged, right? Focused. He's as quick and fast here as our witch, right? And he's digging in. It's a gold, So digging in with the wealth. I should clarify maybe that maybe I should have done this at the top. Probably lost some of you. But wealth just means anything, any area of your life that is your definition of abundance, right? It could be a relationship. Doesn't necessarily mean a relationship with money. It could just be your relationships. But I mean, it could be your relationship with food. I guess I should have said that off the top, but just anything wealth and opulence. But I feel a good number of you is money. That is where I went. I am being drawn into all the gold. I've been pulled in a lot to the Garden of Abundance. So maybe you should, if you're interested, go look up on YouTube and just kind of sit back and relax with some of the Reiki sessions that focus in on tuning in and connecting with the Garden of Abundance. Kind of coming back to tuning into your energy here, right? I was saying your belief system, he's pointing up to the angels. This connection here could just be the connection with your belief system, with your angels. You know, it'll just kind of speed up the wheel here, right? Okay. Well, that's nice. The King of Cups, I said the King of Cups. The Knight of Cups is waiting here for you to come in and collect the chalice. Didn't I say here, in your past experiences, grab the chalice and run, right? Turn around and run. Ignore what's happening on the path, everything that you stumbled through, all the booby traps. Maybe that's why I bumped my knee, because I was running, right? I just bumped my knee. I didn't fall in. But it's there for you to grab. So your dreams are inviting you to connect in and grab the knowledge that's there for you and apply it to your waking life in terms of improving your wealth center here, your abundance. It's available to you. It's almost like he's in the Garden of Abundance here, you know? He's just kind of on the other side of the creek waiting for you to kind of jump over and enter. Okay. So the messages from your angels and your spirit guides, so they had, you know, ample to say up here, which is good. They do want you to change your perspective. Well, we saw this here in the focus, you know, finding your rhythm, doing it your way. So that's changing your perspective. There's more than one way to increase one's wealth, one's happiness. You do have good luck, you know, so there is encouragement here to do it your way. Again, you've got knowledge here waiting for you. Just grab onto it. Take a hold. Miracles, I said that as well in the intro. Magical moments, serendipitous opportunities. So this is the right person crossing your path. Didn't I say up here in your dream to stop seeing these individuals as nightmarish individuals? You know, if it's Darth Vader, it could actually be Princess Leia in his robe, right? And she just needs to turn around and let you know, no, it's me. No, I was hiding, right? So lean into these people that you're meeting in your dreams. Don't turn and run away from them. I think they might be chance connections, opportunity for you to learn something. Listen to what they're saying. If you feel like you're in a nightmare scenario, just lean into the advice. Just kind of think back to advice that people have given you over the years. There might be a golden nugget in there that you might have missed, right? When we're feeling low self-esteem, self-doubt, guilt, embarrassment, sometimes we don't hear everything. So just kind of reflect back here. This is a milestone moment for you. Could be a milestone year in terms of turning around significantly and heading into this prosperous, abundant sort of new area for your world. Just coming to this reading and getting your dream analyzed is a milestone moment for you as well, because it allows you to acknowledge and act, right? The Made with Love little charm here really is about following your passion, And that's scary in and of itself, to follow one's passion. Any entrepreneur, freelancer, anybody getting married, right? The proposal, the wedding, it's scary. It's scary to follow your heart. Your heart always generally leads you to an unknown, right? Because you're not really thinking. You're leading with passion here. So that also lends to me being encouraged to call this and title it a nightmare reading, because there is this element of fear here of following your passion, following your heart. Okay. And then we've got like a red hot X marks the spot. You know, if you've been looking for a sign and you want like a flashing like light bulb over something, you know, please give me a sign of what bank to go to, or please give me a sign that this person is my person, right? I feel like the angels are definitely going to deliver upon that request, right? You have luck here on your side, a magical moment, serendipitous moment. You need to be able to see it though, right? Change your perspective. Try to lean into the fear, like I was saying, make this adrenaline. See your fear as the passion that it is. And then you won't miss your sign here. Same sign up here, right? The X marks the spot with the red passion. You know, following your heart is the way to go. If you're not following your heart, you're going to meet the king with the sword. If you follow your heart, you're going to this, temple of faith and love and belief, and you're making your connection here, right? You're meeting your guardian angel who's fulfilling your wish and helping you with entering your garden of abundance here. All right, the cards they paired with that. So we got another battle. So I guess in your nightmare, you guys are fighting, either in an actual battle or some kind of argument. See how the wave is protecting her? This is the beautiful green of Archangel Raphael. It's also the green of wealth, right? And it's protecting you. You have the chalice in your hand here. Look, I just noticed that. So you successfully collected it. You have your knowledge and wisdom in the chalice, right? The little fish. So you've collected the chalice. You're talking to your soul. That's your soul passion. You're getting your wisdom. And your wealth is out now, like protecting you, you know, providing you shelter, providing you everything you need, water, you know, connecting up here to the air. And she's holding that because she changed her perspective. She wasn't fearful to take the chalice here from the night. She wasn't fearful to head into this battle, heart first, kindness first, as I see here in the sort of angelic flowers on the end of their spears, right? This isn't to harm anybody. This is love that they're coming in with. Angels are coming in with love, right? Follow your heart to wealth, protection, stability. We're talking about solid foundation. Don't be afraid of the wave. The wave is sheltering her. It's not going to crash and smother her. And then we have, a wish come true. We have the good luck and the miracle moment here, right? Milestone moment, a wish come true. And look, you're in control of your emotions, you're in control of your finances. You give and it flows back to you effortlessly, right? You're helping others, you're giving water, which nourishes, and it flows back to you. So as long as there's, positive intent behind your focus here to improve your wealth center, you have positive intent behind that. I'm going to pay off my debts. I'm going to help so-and-so. I am going to go heart first into this relationship. So for deck one, that's really the story I'm getting here in terms of you know, maybe what you're experiencing in the dream, or I guess the nightmares, or this sort of living scenario that you're working through now. But you're going to be successful. Just lean into your wisdom. That's really what the angels here keep saying. There's enough experiences here, lived experience, for you to be both successful in your dream in terms of not being fearful and talking to everybody you're encountering, but also not fearful and being able to change your dynamic in that relationship, with that relationship. Okay. Deck number 2. So if you were drawn to this pile of cards, what I'm going to do is start with charms first, get a sense from the angels what they want to talk about, maybe the messages they've been trying to reach you with through your dreams, your nightmares that you're feeling, or they'll give you some support, advice, motivation if it's a lived experience, sort of a nightmare situation that you are considering yourself in. So we're going to start with the charms. Okay. So I'll pause anytime I feel movement. Interesting duo. We got mischief and luck. Maybe this is more the loss. Looking for something. Okay. Oh, your soul wants to talk to you. We got movement on the messages from your soul. Okay. Now let's see if there's more information about your dream here. Maybe it's up here. Okay. Get ready for some information. And I think your head up here is moving your head space. Family, children. Okay, let's see if there's any more charms, just because there is a few more charms with the first pile, first group. Okay. All right, so we got your head space. Maybe you're focused in on family or a specific family member, because I also have the childhood here. Maybe you're just reflecting back on your childhood. That seems to be where your headspace is at. Maybe children or family features prominently in your dream as well, if you're connecting in today for a dream analysis, or your current scenario that you're connecting in with. Maybe it involves family. There is this preparedness that you want to get prepared. They want to prepare you for some incoming information here, some clarity that you're going to be gaining, maybe through this reading. Maybe that's why I'm going through the charms first here. There is a gift coming in, a message from your soul. There's a gentleness with that, with my little Bambi here, my fawn, my little baby deer. And then the messages from your angels and your spirit guides. Like I said, there's, seeking something lost or mischief. And then like a guiding star here, some good luck in finding that maybe. It's actually kind of nice and whimsical, right? Very Peter Pan here with Tinkerbell and the star. Maybe your dream feels fairy tale-ish. Maybe you're in a whimsical land when you're in your dream. Let's see. Maybe I shouldn't keep assuming here. We'll get into the cards. All right. Deck 2, pile 2. What have you been struggling with in the dreamscape or in your waking life? And we'll just take them out, wherever they're drawing my attention here. Got a couple more. This one here. I'm just going to tune in. I did ask the other deck to kind of get the angels to give me a separate kind of set of cards to help me connect in first with your dreamer scenario, just to help go beyond what I was initially stating with the charms here. It gives me a starting point. as I feel your energies and what your angels and souls want to share here. Oh, I guess we'll go with all three. Okay. Pile number 2, deck number 2. Let's see what you're dreaming about here, or feel like you're dealing with, living with. Wow, what a beautiful, well, we got the repeating star. Look, your incoming wish here, the falling star. Okay, I wonder if stars, maybe stars are prominent in your dream. We got manifestation here into reality. So you have a dream coming true. Maybe that's why I was doing like Peter Pan. You know, at least when I grew up, the Disney thing was the star went over the castle. You know, wish upon a star. See how the flower is coming off the canvas? It's the 2D is starting to peel off and come into the 3D, which means your dream is about to come into reality here. So that might be why those of you drawn here feeling like you're in a nightmare scenario, change is chaotic, right? Especially if it's change you're not controlling. See how the kitty cat here is just watching this dream come true, watching this transformation happen. It's not in the cat's control here. You may have asked the angels for help in an area of your life, and here it comes. It's not in your control, right? Divine answering, divine intervention, miracle, whatever you want to terminology you want to give to it. I'm wondering why the middle, I keep hearing Don Quixote, sort of that fable, that story. I have another deck of cards where that character is depicted sitting backwards. You know, his donkey's traveling forward, but he's looking backwards. And we have movement of travel. So we have travel. For those of you in the dreamscape, you might be feeling this is a nightmare because I do believe you have astral traveled. Your soul has gone literally into your dreamscape here to grab this dream and pull it down. You know, picture like the Invisible Man, like you're in another realm, you're in the other dimension. Maybe that's why I was saying 2D, 3D. So you're in the other dimension here, pulling the flower off. You know, our animals are sensitive to spirits, to souls. So if you're astral traveling, you're in soul form and you're creating impact here in your waking life. I wonder if those of you with pets, I wonder if your pets are looking at you just a little bit differently in the morning. Are they staring at you? Like, do you catch yourself going like, what? You know, like, why are you looking at me? Maybe playfully, but you're wondering why they're just fixated on you, you know, because they just watched you in soul form and now you're back in parent human form here. Really getting strong astral travel here to manifest from another dimension into your current reality here. In terms of a waking nightmare, kind of living a waking nightmare, I would say you're feeling like you're pulled in every which direction. With the Don Quixote reference that I was getting. Same with like the bird's ready to take off, but the plane is parked. So there might be some false starts or some commitments that are getting delayed and back. Like your schedule might be starting to get a bit crazy, right? I was just doing this. I just noticed down there, right? Crazy and overlapped, you know, constant shifting. That could be home life, work schedule. If like there truly is a sense of I'm going this way, nope, I gotta backtrack, nope, I gotta go this way. wait a second, it's supposed to be that way. Maybe when you're driving or walking, you're finding your sense of direction is off even. Maybe you're just catching yourself, just kind of wandering off and then going, oops, no, I was supposed to go left. I'm really drawn into how tiny they're making me feel she is in contrast to this grandness of this just blank wall, right? Power of manifestation, the canvas here. You can sketch anything on there and manifest it, pull it off. Maybe you are physically doing that in your dream as well. Maybe you are drawing and then peeling, drawing, erasing, repeating. Maybe that's why it feels like a nightmare. Maybe you feel like you're never finishing what you're doing. You're never getting to the end of the tunnel. There's this, right? You're never getting to your destination. And then you just kind of stop. You just kind of wake up, or you just stop. You feel paralyzed, right? If this is that's why it's a waking nightmare. You're paralyzed. There's just so much commotion and chaos. You just don't know where to start, where to stop. You know, maybe this is a lot of projects on the go. Again, sort of this overlapping sense. So if you're not astral traveling, you're kind of living this, I don't know where I'm going, this way or that way. The fairy, I started off with saying sense of direction, being lost. And I was wondering why I was feeling mischievous, sort of that Don Quixote quirkiness, but it was just his character. It wasn't the actual mischief. I don't feel like you're mischievous. It's the sense of direction. And what did I do? I placed the star in front of her. Follow the star, the falling star, the incoming wish, you know, to light your way. You know, a wish is granted to pull you forward, to fill in your canvas. As I'm pulled over here, right? Head, art palette, filling in your canvas, manifesting, childlike whimsy. That's what all this is. And it's sitting on heart, which means it's sitting on head, and this means lead with your heart, right? If you feel stalled, it's because you're thinking or overthinking. If you're feeling lost, you're thinking, you're overthinking, you're overcomplicating. Just relax, ease into it. Have the child innocence and naivety, right? Just start, kind of ignore the head here. So my ancestor necklace here, I said maybe your dream was about family, or a specific child or family member, but I feel more like this is your ancestors actually coming in. So we have messages from your angels, messages from your soul, and then your actual loved ones, your family members that have all crossed. Maybe you're someone who recently lost someone, so they're making sure they're coming forward and trying to tell you to not forget your heart, right? Lead with your heart. Support with logical thought and logic and analytical thinking. Like, that's all good for balance. Maybe that's what they want here too. You know, head and heart. Don't be all head. Don't be all thought. So get ready for this incoming information. There's not really much else I can elaborate here on this heart. The information will give you clarity, will make you feel kind of whole. You won't feel like you're lacking. You won't feel like you're lost. So we have angels and loved ones here trying to support you pretty profoundly with this wish coming true, this falling star. New start, you know, really blessed here from the angels. It's in the angelic gold. I always really love this color in the deck. So get ready for this new start. This new start could just be you becoming more like yourself. I guess we'll see. Maybe that's what this little gift is. And this baby. We do have the baby Bambi here. So new start, gift, new start. We got more gold. Now you're in a field of gold here. Oh, I thought there was two cards. They're not. you know, this happy corgi, right? And sitting in amongst his marigolds, staring at the field there of all the nice long grass, the wheat, the rolling hills, the mountains. Like there's just layer upon layer upon layer of happiness for this corgi to look at and to explore. You know, he hasn't even stepped forward yet. He hasn't even explored this new realm. When you're astral traveling, you know, try to get out there more, right? We're going from the pulling the flower off the canvas to you're fully immersed in this world, right? So maybe instead of pulling the flower off, see if you can flow into the painting. You are astral traveling, so you know, maybe this is an entry point for you to go into the Akashic records, right? We did say clarity, knowledge. If you have that ability to astral travel, you definitely don't need me and the angels to open the door. You can go into the Akashic records here. I think I can go there. I think it's still on camera. Oh, maybe the cards here are in the way. So there is a decision coming in terms of just which path you want to go down. It's not a fork in the road, but see how the fox is blindfolded. So maybe you're sitting at that impasse now. You're not sure if you're supposed to hang right or keep going straight, right? Keep going straight or, I guess, yeah, hang a right. Sense of direction. We're coming back to our sense of direction here. You're going to get the clarity first. You know, you're going to get the blindfold off. So it's okay that you haven't taken a step. You haven't taken a step. You know, this new start. Get the clarity first. So in your waking life, you know, if you're not collecting the experience and the knowledge and the wish here when you're astral traveling and applying it to your waking life, in your waking life, you know, if there's something that you want to start or you're waiting on a new start and maybe you're feeling impatient, try to lean back more into your patience, right? Look how calmly the flower is just blooming, right? It's a seed just blossomed, waiting, but comfortably. They're comfortably waiting for this news that's incoming to you. And then you take off. Wow, okay. So I just did a whole spiel of ease. And then you take off like a chariot of fire here. You know, and where's he headed? Into the field of gold, into this opulent new area, this new realm, right? Maybe you're gathering information here from the star and your astral travel on how to control it more, you know, how to actually control where you're going, what destination you're going to. In your waking life, I think it's going to translate into you feeling like you have more control, a sense of purpose, a sense of direction. Sense of direction really is strong here, obviously. We're going from not knowing which way to go to fully focused, full on engines roaring here. I think my mic is cutting out, so I do apologize. Maybe from this point on, try to pump the volume. We're almost done, so I hope the microphone hangs in there. Okay. So over here with messages from your soul to you. So I was saying that there's an incoming gift, right? So I don't know if this knowledge is or this new start, but your soul is letting you know it is a gift. You know, this isn't a nightmare situation. This is a positive change that looks like it's negative. It's really encouragement to strike out on this new path, to follow your soul purpose here. You know, you're gifted with the power of astral travel, manifestation. You know, your intuitive abilities are very strong here, so lean into them. And maybe that's the newness. You know, maybe that's you're attracted here because you're starting to explore these new abilities. Okay. I apologize. I'm just moving around. Definitely issues with the mic here, so I'm gonna do my best to be closer, talk as loud as I can, but you probably had to turn up your volume. Look what happens when you let yourself out of your cage, right? Again, whether you're astral traveling here in your dreams or in your waking life, if you lean into your exploration, your curiosity, your creativity, what's waiting for you is quite beautiful, right? If you're finding a soul mate, maybe a soul to astral travel with, you're either also meeting your angel, your spirit guide when you're traveling and traveling with them and solidifying that intuitive bond, that psychic bond that you have with them. This can be your loved ones too, right? You're visiting and traveling with your loved ones and their souls in your dreams. So it's really not nightmarish. It's probably scary to you because it's all foreign. It's a different place. They're sitting on water and yet they're out in space here. So how is that possible, right? The reality that you're seeing in your dream, it's probably making it hard for you to kind of adjust, right? Everything looks and feels kind of different. For the kind of the waking life scenario here, it could just be that you need to let yourself go. You need to spread your wings if you're going to achieve and find this kind of connection. The sitting and waiting to be released out of the cage with this clarity, this knowledge, leads to this happiness, right? And longevity of happiness as well. Swans, mating for life. Swans are also you becoming you, right? The glow up. You becoming your true self. We saw that here. Head and heart. Your guiding star. Your intuition, your abilities. Following a passion. Your sense of purpose. Exploring. And then we have you going uphill against the barriers here, right? No matter what's being thrown down at you, right? These bales of hay that are set afire. Look how calmly you're walking up the hill here. This calmness of not letting the chaos kind of bother you. This could just be also the sensation you feel when you're traveling. Maybe you feel like you're kind of bumping into things. Was it your reading I bumped my knee? So you might feel like you're kind of ping-ponging a little bit. I wouldn't be surprised if you wake up with just a couple small bruises or tenderness and you're not sure how you got them. In your waking life, this is fast incoming news again, right? The clarity. They're set on fire. They're signs from your angels, that falling star. Your wish coming true. Are you going to jump over? Are you going to catch it? So for group 2 here, I think it's really about preparedness. Preparedness for your travels when you're traveling and just getting your footing and understanding the ins and outs of soul travel, astral travel. It's new to you, right? It's new to you, tapping into this gift. It's a family ability probably, with the family here. Maybe it's something you've done since childhood, if this is a reoccurring nightmare scenario for you and that's why you came. Maybe it's something you've done since childhood and it's kind of scared you. Again, we're coming back to Tinkerbell. A lot of my references were Disney, child cartoons, child focused brands. coloring, manifesting as well. So a strong tie here to childhood, but a lot of just creativity, exploration, adventure. But don't be spontaneous about it. Make sure you get your information. Do a little bit of research before you take off down that path. So very, very kind of fun and exciting here for pile number 2. So thank you for letting me connect into your dreamscapes and connect with your energies to see what you're considering a nightmare right now. I think it's, like I said, either you're exploring your new gift, or in your waking life, you're just waiting on getting some clarity so you can grab control and redefine your next goal point, right? And follow that and head straight forward to that, your sense of direction here. You're just looking for that new purpose, and then you're off running here. So I look forward to connecting with you on the next reading.